It used to be if you wanted to get a hold of somebody, you would call a place where you thought they might be and hope they were there, right? And leave a message and they'd call you back or whatever. And then along came the technology that supported cell phones, cell tower infrastructure, the cell phone model, that fundamentally changed the way that humans communicate. That same level of change, that sea change in the way that people communicate is happening again today. And they're gonna need terminals for that. Traditionally, the way that in-flight entertainment and connectivity was embodied in a satellite communications kind of model was through the use of geostationary satellites, right? They rotate at the same speed as the Earth, so they're always in the same spot in the sky. And then on the aircraft, we would design and develop gimbaled antenna systems to be able to communicate with those geosynchronous satellites. The downside to that, they're big, right? And they're heavy. So there's all of this qualification and certification burden to get those installed on aircraft. With the advent of proliferated LEO constellations, where there's these mega constellations in close proximity to the Earth, it's much like the cell phone tower model. There's always another satellite coming overhead. Instead of looking at one place in the sky, or calling one place where I think you might be, there's another satellite coming over every few minutes. There's another one, right? So we have to be able to track that satellite, and then be able to very quickly pick up the next one, right? There has to be high beam agility to be able to maintain that connection. So there needs to be a fundamental change in the terminal hardware to be able to communicate. So the picture in the lower right there is of a solar concentrator, right? I mean, these things have been out, they're out in the desert, they've been around for forever and a day. And effectively it's an array of mirrors that as the sun traverses the sky, the mirrors all focus and collimate the energy at a central point. We're fundamentally doing the same thing at RF frequencies with discrete components. The technology that we're advancing doesn't require a large radome. It's conformal to the skin of the aircraft. And one thing aircraft have a lot of is skin area. So we can spread out, cover a lot of areas, and get equitable performance at a lower efficiency. So we feel like we're uniquely positioned and qualified to not only have the foresight and insight to develop differentiating technology, but we have the credibility to execute and bring it to market. Fundamental questions that come up for me are why us? Why now, and what's the market look like? We have an auditable, credible track history of developing innovative products for our customers in commercial, BizAv, MilGov, space, and crisply executing those designs. So, towards the end of this year and over the next 2 to 3 years, the mega constellations are all gonna start coming online. Aero will follow shortly thereafter, and the technology that we're accelerating into market is designed to meet those constellations as they become online and are ready for an aerotized, productized version. So if we just focus on in-flight entertainment and connectivity, and we just focus on say, the domestic narrow body as an example, the typical uptake for in-flight entertainment and connectivity is 10%. And so 10% of the 150 passengers will pay $5 a pop for their hour-and-a-half flight segment to be connected, right? So that's 5 flights a day, 200, 250 aircraft in a fleet, 365 days a year, right? That's like, something like 30 million bucks. So you don't have to have 100% market penetration to start to see some real money. So our self-investment has probably gotten ourselves 30% of the way towards a sellable product by burning down risk and establishing a firm interlocking intellectual property portfolio around the concept and the approach.